saying, that is sufficient. Otherwise, what you can do is you should also check your audio setting, because I've checked at my end, and also I'll try to speak a bit loudly. Okay, so thank you once again for that introduction, and I'm happy to be here. This is the third phase. I was there in phase one and then in phase two, and every time I was in such a session, though the theme remained same, the content changed, and the reason was that I learned a lot in every session. Now, I also understand that मुझे जब भी ये session मिला है, I've been given a session which is right after lunch. So I hope that is the case right now also. This is a session which is right after lunch.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for that challenge. So sessions right after lunch are challenging, because, and it's not only for you, it's for me also, because I need to speak after having a good, sumptuous lunch, and I'm sure that would be challenge at your end also. So never mind. Let's understand what is there I am going to talk about. So I take a couple of minutes to first tell you who I am, because that was all my business side in terms of my introduction. I am by education, I did my engineering, and then I went on to do my MBA from IMI Delhi. And currently, I have submitted my thesis and waiting for my defense at Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya, Indore. So this is my educational background. But at core, I have been inside the classroom, and I've been an educationist, which I do today also with a lot of passion. The unique thing I think with my profile is, or the experience that I have had is, uh, I have dealt education as a business outside the classroom, and I have also dealt with education as an educator inside the classroom. And I've been in school segment. We do certain products where I train school students. I do a lot of competitive training for exams like GRE and CAT and so on. I've been inside classroom for postgraduate level. I'm a marketing prof that way. So I offer marketing courses in specialization to various business schools in India as a visiting or as an adjunct faculty. So if you look at that, somehow interestingly, my experience ranges from K-12 school segment को K-12 बोलते हैं हमारे business parlance में. So K-12 to aptitude training for competitive exams to undergrad and postgrad levels. And the topic that we are going to discuss today, let me tell you, irrespective of which stage of education you're talking about, the elementary or the high school or the postgraduate level or the doctoral level, whatever stage you talk about, I believe principles remain same with respect to the theme that we have today. We are talking about innovation and teaching. This is such a discussed topic, and possibly all of you are practicing this, and still, there is no limit to what you can do in terms of innovating inside your classroom. So I come across not as a speaker here, and not that I have more gyan than what you guys have. I see 84 participants. ये तीन phase का मिला के, I think this is the highest encouragement, and this number is still growing. So the idea is not to give you any gyan or a mantra that ways. The idea is to see if I can facilitate a learning platform where something that I have to share with you from school and undergrads and grad levels, postgrad levels, and something that you have which can add to the collective wisdom that we can create in these 80 odd minutes that we have. हम मिलकर अगर इसमें कुछ कर पाएं. So I see all of you mostly have your videos off, and I don't have a problem with that, because now I'm used to taking sessions जहाँ पे videos off होते हैं. But in case if your background environment, bandwidth, condition permits, आप कभी कभी अपना वीडियो जरूर ऑन कीजिएगा, because that आप मेरी भावनाएं समझ सकेंगे. That as a faculty, if you see live faces, nodding faces, smiling, stern faces, गुस्से वाले faces, तो आपको थोड़ा सा एक अच्छा वाइब आता है, rather than those static photographs जो बहुत अच्छे से आप लोगों ने खिंचवाए हैं, but let me tell you वो इतना encouraging नहीं है. So जब भी आपको permit करे, अगर करे तो, otherwise I am good, I am used to this method and I'm sure you are also used to this method. आपके students शायद आपके साथ ऐसा ही करते होंगे, तभी आप मेरे साथ ऐसा कर रहे हैं. But anyways, jokes apart, we can start with this topic, which is innovation in teaching. So what I have done is I've prepared a PowerPoint presentation, very common method, very common tool. So there's nothing innovative in that. And these slides are basically guiding me to some direction. But let me tell you, I have no defined agenda कि मुझे कुछ 500 slides complete करनी है. That's not my objective. It could be that on first slide हमारा discussion इस तरह का हो that we may end up the entire session on the first slide only, and that would be good enough for me and for you also. So I'll use a PPT. There could be some videos that I may want to play. So audio and everything would be there. What you can do is in your speaker view, if you select, I mean, if in your view option, your right hand top pe hai, if you select speaker view, you will centrally see me and you will not be disturbed by other participants moving out in अपना photo दिखा रहे हैं या नहीं दिखा रहे हैं. तो आपको उससे disturbance नहीं होगा. And whatever I share with you through my PowerPoint presentation, audio video presentations, you will be able to see all that. So आप speaker view पे जा सकते हैं. That's a small recommendation. Otherwise, as you like. So ठीक है, we are good to go and welcome again. Post lunch session on STTP. This is 4.0 and this is phase 3. So I think this is the time where I would want to share my PPT with you so that you know what am I talking about. So I'm talking about innovation in teaching. Very, very interesting subject because it has no boundaries. To put a boundary to this subject would be unfair. And as educators, as professors, we understand that innovation necessarily किसी एक particular चीज से नहीं आता है. Okay, the audio is low, audio is low. Okay, so I'll try to increase and put some pressure on my vocal cords. And you also see कि क्या आपके end पे तो audio नहीं कम नहीं है. But I'll put more pressure on my vocal cords. So innovation is in teaching is something, like I said, is a boundaryless subject, and I'm here to discuss that. और ये एक बहुत बड़ा challenge बन जाता है. So while I was thinking कि हम इस subject को कैसे deal करेंगे and how we'll talk to people, you know, who are doing it day in day out. आप लोग रोज day in day out, I'm assuming you're trying to do some innovation in your teaching methodologies while you're designing your course outlines or you're delivering your course outlines and you're following certain pedagogy. You're trying consciously to ensure that there's some innovation happening because your bosses may be observing what innovation you're doing. There could be some extra credits you are getting. आपके कुछ शायद internal assessments होते हैं, performance evaluations होते हैं, उस पे आपको innovation पे points मिलते हैं, and also because you want your learners to benefit from the innovations that you're doing. So this is what we'll discuss. Let me tell you, like I said, there are no Gyan fundas I have. Mostly we will try and develop this session as we go forward. So ये session उतना ही अच्छा होगा जितना अच्छा आप लोगों का participation होगा. चलिए, so मैं आपको बता रहा था जब ये session बना रहे थे, so this example I always give because this is the correct story. So I was thinking, how would I start and what would I do for phase 1? And my 11-year-old kid was around me and he was asking me, what are you doing? And I said, I have to take a session for professors and I have to basically talk and share with them, you know, what do you mean by innovation in teaching और क्या-क्या methods available हैं innovation in teaching के. And मुझे थोड़ा सा difficult लग रहा है because I don't want to tell them that do flipped classroom, do collaborative teaching, do cloud computing. मैं ये heavy words use नहीं करना चाहता हूँ and anyway उसको भी ये सब समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. So he asked me what is innovation in teaching. मैंने कहा innovation in teaching मतलब बेटा, you know, when you make your class interesting, and this is the only word I thought he'll understand. And he said, पापा आप एक काम कर सकते हैं, what you can do is आप उनको 3 Idiots movie दिखा सकते हो और 3 Idiots movie में आमिर खान का वो classroom वाला lecture दिखा सकते हो. That was the idea that he tossed to me, and I was happy. I thought, yes, why not? So I have this video with me, a small video of Amir Khan, you know, inside the classroom, where his professor, the dean challenges him, I think, or the director challenges him to teach something in a different manner. And he takes up that challenge and he does it in a funny way. But more than the filmy part of it, I think there are some very small, interesting, subtle but critical lessons for us. आप में से कई लोगों ने वो मूवी कई बार देखी और आपको सब कुछ पता है, but I think we will discuss it in a different way. So what I'll do is I'll stop share right now. मैं मेरे ऑडियो के साथ आपके साथ शेयर करता हूँ. Let's watch this clip and then we will discuss. So ये clip मैं आपके साथ फिर शेयर करता हूँ. Let me do that. Okay. Let me know if you can hear this sound. Here I go. आवाज आ रही है मैडम?
वेदन प्लीज सिट डाउन। आज हमारे बीच एक ऐसे लीडर है जिनका मानना है कि वो हमारे हाईली क्वालिफाइड टीचर से बेहतर पढ़ा सकते हैं। तो आज प्रोफेसर रणछोड़ दास छाछड़ हमें इंजीनियरिंग सिखाएंगे। We do not have all day.
आपके पास 30 सेकंड है बोर्ड पे लिखे हुए शब्दों का मतलब समझाना है। आप चाहें तो किताब का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। जिसे जवाब मिलेगा वो हाथ ऊपर करेगा। देखते हैं कौन फर्स्ट आता है और कौन लास्ट। योर टाइम स्टार्ट्स नाउ। टाइम अप सर, टाइम अप। क्या किसी को जवाब नहीं मिला? अब अपनी लाइफ का 1 मिनट रिवाइंड करो और सोचो। जब मैंने ये सवाल पूछा, किसी ने ये सोचा कि आज कुछ नया सीखने को मिलेगा, मजा आएगा? एनीवन? सर? नहीं, सब रेस में लग गए। ऐसे पढ़ के फर्स्ट आ भी गए तो क्या फायदा? आप लोगों की नॉलेज बढ़ेगी? नहीं, सिर्फ प्रेशर बढ़ेगा। और ये कॉलेज है, प्रेशर को कर नहीं। अरे चाबुक के डर से तो सर्कस का शेर भी उछल के कुर्सी पर बैठना सीख जाता है, लेकिन ऐसे शेर को हम वेल ट्रेन्ड कहते हैं, वेल एजुकेटेड नहीं।
हेलो, दिस इज नॉट अ फिलोसफी क्लास। उन 2 वर्ड्स का मतलब बताओ बस।
सर ऐसे कोई वर्ड्स है नहीं सर, ये तो मेरे दोस्तों के नाम है, फरहान और राजू।
कोई नॉनसेंस! कैसे पढ़ाओगे इंजीनियरिंग?
नहीं सर, मैं आपको इंजीनियरिंग नहीं पढ़ा रहा था सर, वो तो आप मुझसे बेहतर जानते हैं। मैं तो आपको ये पढ़ा रहा था कि पढ़ाते कैसे। और मुझे यकीन है कि आप एक दिन जरूर सीखेंगे सर, क्योंकि मैं अपने कमजोर स्टूडेंट्स का हाथ कभी नहीं छोड़ता।
Okay, so that was a very small video around what we are going to talk about. But there were before you say something, so there were few things that I would want to say first. You know, the closing remarks कि मैं आपको ये नहीं पढ़ा रहा था कि इंजीनियरिंग क्या है या इंजीनियरिंग कैसे पढ़ानी, बट कैसे पढ़ाना, इंजीनियरिंग नहीं पढ़ा रहा था मैं आपको तो आपको सिर्फ बता रहा था कि पढ़ाना कैसे है। एंड व्हेन यू से समथिंग दैट 1 मिनट रिवाइंड करो जिंदगी का, और क्या किसी ने सोचा कि कुछ नया सीखने को मिलेगा, क्लास में मजा आएगा। सो it has a lot of filmy angles, you know, and we are talking and not every class possibly you can do, you will say that, and you will say वो तो engineering subject है, and हम लोग management पढ़ाने वाले लोग हैं. But let me tell you, I've been in both worlds. I've been in engineering classrooms, आप में से कई लोग होंगे, and I've been in management classroom both as a student and an educator. I think given the PGDM program, the way it is done, and the way teachers are empowered and professors are empowered, I think you have lot of scope in ensuring कि class में मजा आए, in ensuring कि class में वो जो student है वो आपकी class को चालू होने से पहले वो ये सोचे कि आज अमनदीप सर की क्लास में मजा आएगा, and I'm looking forward to सरिता मैडम्स क्लास, and अभी 30 मिनट में सरिता मैडम की क्लास चालू होगी, या श्रीनिवास सर की क्लास चालू होगी, या अनिल सर की क्लास चालू होगी, एंड आज कुछ नया बताएंगे सर का कुछ नया तरीका है बताने का. There could be marketing and finance or IT, it could be anything, but your students are longing for your class. So again, Amir Khan and everything aside, I think the theme around this particular session that we have, which is called innovation in teaching, I think now is the time when we can attack it. So before I do that, I think आप लोगों को भी I would want to give you an opportunity for, let's say, a minute or so where अच्छा इस क्लास में I don't want you to wear any critical hat, no critical thinking. You know, you are not criticizing any concept, anybody's idea, but it's all constructive. So अगर आपको लगता है आपके पास कुछ constructive thought है, which could be a counter thought, please add. But आपको लगता है that you want to criticize कि ये गलत है, ये गलत है, ये गलत है, ये challenge है, ये challenge, नहीं, ये वो क्लास नहीं है. वो क्लास STTP में निधि मैडम आपको आगे किसी प्रोफेसर की देंगी जहां पे आप क्रिटिसाइज करेंगे, बट इस क्लास में तो सिर्फ कंस्ट्रक्ट करना है. तो इस वीडियो को देख के एनी थॉट्स दैट यू हैव, you may like Amir Khan, you may not like, so we are not talking about Amir Khan, but anything that you would want to just say something. I don't know. Dr. Parag Shukla, you want to say something, sir? नहीं, मुझे ऐसा लगा सर ने अनम्यूट किया, so maybe he wants. Hari Krishnan sir, you want to say something?
Participants, I have given the unmuting rights, so you can unmute yourself. And yes, Sarita Ma, you have unmuted.
Go ahead,
Good
madam.
afternoon, sir. Yeah, I just thought after watching that video, the first thing as a student or as a teacher, we should understand that why we are doing it. First question, what is the purpose? Because if we talk about, there are so many things around us, so many upcoming new things that, they're just coming up in every new second. And if we are doing something, the major concern is what is the use and why I should learn that. The first point, this is what I understood.
Right,
and once we know that what I wanted to understand, the second point could be to understand the foundation of it, to concept, not just by merely the what we do in a normal rat race, what everybody is following it. Right? We have to understand the concept so that we can take it when we are going to do in a practical session. So we have to make a foundation with the help of theories, which will be beneficial of not only in our workplace but also in our personal life as well. That is the main motto of any education. This is what I understand.
So why, as a teacher, am I going? Why am I teaching this? What is the purpose? What is that I want my teachers, students to learn? So learning outcomes क्या हैं और ये सब सोचना है. Okay, perfect, madam. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Any other point before I go ahead?
Yeah. Hi. Can you hear me? My name is Pooja.
Yes, madam. We can. Please.
Yeah. So I feel that when we are talking about enthusiasm from students, which was shown in the clip, I feel that same enthusiasm should be there in me as a teacher. Is there something new to learn? Is there something new for me to teach? How can I teach it in a better way?
Absolutely.
So if I have the enthusiasm, I can pass it on.
So yes. Contagious hota hai enthusiasm.
Yeah.
If I have enthusiasm, I'll be able to pass. If I'm dull, I'll absorb all the enthusiasm और पूरा सब कुछ dull हो जाएगा. So interesting point, madam. Yes, Pooja madam, absolutely. So देखिए beauty क्या है इस movie के clip की? Beauty ये है that you all have your different learning. Like Sarita madam said, find the purpose first. Pooja madam is talking about where is that enthusiasm, and it should start with me. Then it goes to my students. So that's the beauty. You all may look at differently and have different learnings, and everybody can be right and nobody is wrong. So that's right. I'll take one more, otherwise I'll go ahead. Anything that you want to share from this? Oh, so we are 115. Wow, thank you. Chaliye, so I think now is the time where I'll move on with my session. So thank you, Madam Sarita and Dr. Pooja, for your inputs out here. So after this clip, and I'll refer to this clip again and again when we go ahead. These are a few things that I'll do in session today. The outline is we'll talk about learning needs, which you understand. Are these learning needs, are they changing? Are students looking at something more? Industry wants something more. Have things changed? And if they have, obvious answer is yes. So if they have, we'll come down to understanding of what is innovation in teaching. So once we come on a common platform, जहाँ पे हम innovation को define कर देंगे, we'll understand what is innovation in teaching, per se management classrooms. Once we have understood this, I'll share some nuggets, what I have, plus your wisdom here, your learnings here, to find out some important key ingredients for innovation to work inside the classroom. वो क्या होना चाहिए for that innovation to work? Some common strategies that we can use throughout the session. We'll talk about it and we will conclude. So these are 5 important milestones my talk will cover. Let me tell you one more thing. If you have that expectation, I am not here to talk about, innovation tools. I'll not be talking about flipped classroom. I may not be talking about any co-teaching, collaborative teaching. I may not be talking about using technology, let's say cloud, for assessing assignments or creating forums. I may not be doing that because, and why am I? I'm not doing that because I think that is something which you don't require. Not that you don't require to use it, that is something that you don't require to hear from me because it's already there. ये तो सिर्फ माध्यम है. These are only mediums. A YouTube video or a flipped classroom, or role plays or ruler immersions, जो मैं marketing में करता हूँ. तो ये आप मुझसे नहीं जानना चाहते हैं. ये आप Google करेंगे and there is a magazine called Education Technology. It will give you hundreds of tools. I'm not here to discuss that tool because मुझे वो tool बेच के कोई commission नहीं मिलने वाला. And I'm a selfish person that way. So I don't represent any company. So why should I talk about various tools that are available? वो आप ढूंढेंगे, colleagues से बात करेंगे, Google करेंगे, you will get those tools. The idea is not to share those names with you. कि हार्वर्ड का हम बिजनेस सिमुलेशन का बियर वाला गेम खरीद लें और उससे हम नेगोशिएशंस भी सिखा सकते हैं, उससे हम मार्केटिंग में प्राइसिंग भी सिखा. आई एम नॉट हियर टू टेल यू ऑल दैट. यू विल कम टू नो ब्लूमबर्ग का आप सब्सक्रिप्शन खरीद लो. आई डोंट वांट यू टू आई डोंट वांट टू डू ऑल दैट. यू ऑलरेडी नो दैट. In this session, I'm basically talking about what you should do inside classroom, और ये हम collectively generate करेंगे, so that these tools become effective. What should you do? And principle same hai. What should we do as educators so that these tools, be it Bloomberg, be it flipped classroom, your YouTube video, your recorded sessions, your Google Forms, all that is available. They become effective. And mind it, ये जो मैंने ingredient लिखा है, this is something that has to be there. No matter which tool you are using. You could be using Harvard case studies, you could be using business simulation games, you could be using role plays, you could be having informal debates inside classroom, you could do field trips, industry visits, co-teaching, guest speaker, what not. But, or balanced scorecard inside classroom, I don't know, but what not. But these ingredients are common. Ye masala common hoga to make these tools effective. And we are talking about that masala today. We are talking about those ingredients today. And I thought I will model it that way rather than telling you flipped classroom ये होता है और हार्वर्ड में, स्टैनफोर्ड में, IIM अहमदाबाद में इसको इस तरह से किया गया. वो आप अपना मेथड निकालिए depending on your class, because your class, the students that you have, they are different from at any other institute. So basis their profile, you will have to do tweaking to the tool. But the ingredient must be there, like Amir Khan said, मजा आना चाहिए क्लास में. Like Amir Khan said, कुछ नया सीखने को मिलना चाहिए, ऐसा स्टूडेंट सोचे आपकी क्लास में. Like Sarita मैडम said, पर्पस क्या है मेरे टूल का? वो टूल मुझे इसलिए यूज करना है क्योंकि मेरे पर्सनल इवैल्यूएशन में स्टाफ रूम में बात करने पे, डायरेक्टर के कान में बात जाने पे मुझे एक्स्ट्रा ब्राउनी पॉइंट मिलेंगे, या वो स्टूडेंट ज्यादा. तो आपका पर्पस क्या है? Like पूजा मैडम said, enthusiasm. अब देखिए कितना इंटरेस्टिंग सा पॉइंट है enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is the first thing. if I am not enthused and I speak slowly and I say there is zero energy level और ये वैसे भी लंच के बाद का सेशन है और मुझे ये 90 मिनट पूरे करने हैं, मैं अगर ऐसा और 5 मिनट बोलता रहा ना, ये 115 के केवल 15 लोग बचेंगे. So enthusiasm is everything when you start with. So I will talk about such ingredients when we talk and when we proceed in this session. चलिए तो आगे बढ़ते हैं. ये एक छोटा सा ज्ञान वाला स्लाइड है, so I quickly cover this. Learning needs have changed for obvious reasons. What was valid when I was a management student and you were a management student, those things are not absolutely replicable right now. Things have changed around us. You know, management education must change, and onus is on us because we are those people who execute it, deliver it. We are those facilitators. So knowledge is not king anymore. Like I said, I don't have to tell you about what tools are available. It's there on your smartphone. You go on Google and you type 10 most widely used, and you have an HBR article on that. You have professors doing research on that. You have Education Magazine talking about those tools, smart boards and smart classrooms and whatnot. So knowledge is not king anymore, which also means your students, they have an equal access to the same resources. So we cannot say that this is the proprietary theory or concept that I know and nobody knows. And if I don't tell you, you will not know. Rare hi hoga aisa, especially in management field. So everything is available on the fingertips, on your smartphone, on your students' smartphone, and they have an easy access. ये बात और है कि कितना access किया जाता है. But the point is, it is all there and students do use it. So management education must change. We are not knowledge providers. I don't think we are knowledge providers. I strongly believe we are not knowledge providers. We move on. Machines have started learning. This is so interesting, and you know that, you know, आप पढ़ाते भी हैं marketing में, consumer behavior में, you must be teaching that how Amazon, you know, through its algorithms has started learning about consumer behavior. What you bought last time, when did you buy it, what you bought it with, you know, how price was more important to you, or what features were more important to you, or country of origin was more important to you, that this is Chinese made, and Amazon accordingly tells you made in Bharat या made in India के products ही हैं. Machines know so much about us. Your face, I mean, we know that there's data privacy issue. So your Facebook account knows so much about you. Your Google timelines know so much about you. And Alexa knows more than anybody knows, because Alexa is in your room, and you know, and parents are there in room and they talk and Alexa listens. ऐसे सारे episodes हैं. So machines have started learning, and when they have started learning, we need to be more wiser than them. So this is a big challenge. Skill sets required for tomorrow are very different than what we have today and yesterday. No more. I don't think preparing Excel sheet is a key, or making a good PPT is a key skill right now, because PowerPoint gives you design idea feature, और वो खुद आपको बता देगा where to place, how to place, what images. The skill now is not making right Excel sheets or PPT. Possibly those can be done. वो formulas याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. You know, H lookup and V lookup, I don't know आप लोग कितना यूज करते हैं, हमको तो पढ़ाया गया था और हम अभी बहुत यूज भी करते हैं हमारे businesses में. You know, H lookup and V lookup. But क्या ये इतना important skill है for times to come? Possibly some other skills like collaboration, like learning fast, unlearning fast, learning new things. So there are various other skills that have become so important in an uncertain world, which we as educators must ensure our students learn. Somebody calls it a VUCA world. Somebody says it's a VUCA world. It's a versatile, ever-changing, uncertainty. Something happens in Wuhan और पूरी दुनिया को जुकाम लग जाता है. This is such a difficult time. I mean, in my family, in my near and dear ones, I know what I am passing through, and I'm sure आप सबके वैसे वाले personal challenge अभी होंगे second wave में. अगर नहीं हैं, let's pray कि कभी नहीं हो. But जिनके हैं, वो जानते हैं कि वो किस दौर से गुजर रहे हैं at personal level. It is such a complex phenomenon, and some businesses are doing extremely well. There are certain businesses.
I just came to know that you are isolated in the hotel. Everybody in your family.
I was.
Okay.
I was.
Okay.
By God's grace, I am back now.
Okay.
I am back to my home, but I was, ma'am. Thank you. So yeah, so this is very challenging phase that we are going through. So it is versatile, ever changing, uncertain. It's all interlinked, complex and ambiguous. And in these possible traits that we live in, आज के time में, we need to train our students to survive, to grow, and to excel. So hence learning needs have changed. They are disruptive technologies, like we have seen. Okay, so voice is not audible.
It is audible at my end, sir. I don't think there must be some connection error. Sir,
To my
Okay.
end.
Sir,
Okay,
you are
so-
completely audible.
Even I
Yeah,
am
very
not
well
sure.
audible, sir. Carry on, please.
Okay, thank you.
And Sri Nivasa ji, sir is very well audible. I think.
Okay, so what we'll do is I'll cut this. So what is happening is there are 111 participants. There are a couple of participants जिनको थोड़ा सा problem हो रहा है. Sir, I will request one thing. आप वो audio jack निकाल के वापस लगाएं, वो जो सारे जुगाड़ वाले तरीके हैं. You may log in. Can they log out and log in again?
Yes, they can. They can. Also, if I will share the YouTube link on the group, the session is live on the YouTube also. So
You may not be able to participate, but yes, you will be
Yes.
able to see everything. Yeah, you
Yes.
can go on YouTube as well.
you can just for the session, and once the Q&A round happens, you may join here again if you wish to, if the audio is not correct at your end. So please go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. So basically this slide is talking about how things are changing fast, and for that management education must change, for which there are important things with respect to teaching. Pedagogy must change, must change. So there's no choice. Okay, so we go ahead. Yes, audible now, sir. Thank you. Srinivasa, sir, thank you so much. We go ahead. So this is a small video on machine learning. ये वीडियो हम छोटा सा देखते हैं. Here is Sundar Pichai talking about changes in Google and changes that are going to come. And आप लोग वो Google का Meet follow करते होंगे, where he comes up with some weird technology. Your mobile phone just needs to click picture and they'll tell you कि ये रोज है या कौन सा कॉफी शॉप है और इसकी क्या रेटिंग्स हैं और कस्टमर ने इसके बारे में क्या बोला है. Google Images. So excellent है ये सब. So let's see. ये एक छोटा सा मैं आप लोगों के साथ वीडियो शेयर करता हूँ, and then again we will discuss.
Yeah, you've been talking lately a lot about machine learning and AI. AI was talked about even 25 years ago when I was at IIT and when you were at IIT. What has changed in the last 2 or 3 years? Why has AI become suddenly, and machine learning suddenly become the new buzzword?
I mean, I think the biggest advances you're seeing is largely due to, two things. The techniques we use in deep learning, deep neural networks, have been around for many years. But early on, they weren't that effective because you just didn't have the computational power to run these algorithms. Just for the past many years, the computational power has dramatically increased. So when you run deep learning on the latest computation and with access to better data, you get dramatic breakthroughs. So for example, we recently launched Google Translate, and this is machine translation, and using our deep learning systems, the translation quality improvements just in the last year is bigger than what we've seen in the past 10 years cumulatively.
Wow.
So it tells us that the ability for computers to do these kinds of tasks, be it image recognition, speech recognition, voice recognition, it's really hitting a tipping point. So I think we are definitely in a point of inflection. Advances in machine learning, I think, will make a big difference in many fields. We recently published a paper on using machine learning to help diagnose diabetic retinopathy. It's a condition which causes blindness, but if you can detect it earlier, you can completely cure it. Otherwise, it causes blindness. It's the fastest growing cause of blindness in the world. Today you need advanced ophthalmologists to detect these conditions. But using machine learning, we can detect it pretty accurately so that a regular doctor can detect these conditions. I'm saying this is an early example of the kind of changes that will happen when you apply machine learning to all kinds of fields. Google alone won't do this, but to me, the thing I'm most excited about is bringing advances from machine learning and AI to as many people in as many fields as possible.
Thanks for checking out this video. Sign
Right,
up
so
with a
this
CAD.
was an example to just to tell you that, you know, the world that we'll be living in, machines will have a lot of role to play, and the intelligence that humans are trying to build inside machines, it is imperative that when we are talking about professionals and especially management professionals, and their decision making would change totally. उनके जो decision लेने की क्षमताएं हैं वो change होंगी, and decision जिन variables पे लिया जाएगा, that would change, because many of this would be done on machines, for example in financial sector. So possibly the investment decisions, you need not do anything on your own. You'll have software algorithms जो HNI के portfolio को बना के suggest कर देंगे, looking at hundreds years of data in past. So as managers, then your role changes a lot. आपको जो decisions लेने हैं, that changes a lot. Business development के जो decisions लेने हैं, that changes a lot. So what do we do inside the classroom? Okay, let's see. So I go ahead. So I come down to a very important question, which I don't have an answer for, is what is this innovation in teaching, let's say with respect to management learning. So what I'll do is I've opened a question here. You have to define innovation, and I'm not looking at a bookish definition because I don't think no book definition would be sufficient. In few words, like I said, only constructive. We are not criticizing anyone. What do you think as educator is innovation? मैं जो लिख सकता हूं यहाँ लिख लूंगा. Yes, there's a very interesting point coming from Zubin Kumar Saini. Sir, if you can please unmute yourself and आप जो बात बोल रहे हैं अगर आप वो बोल सकें rather than typing, it would help. Zubin sir, is it possible? I don't think.
The unmuting rights have been given, so you can unmute.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, sir.
Am I audible, sir?
Absolutely, you are. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, yes, sir. As Mr. Sundar Pichai said, that artificial machine learning and deep learning is very useful in management. Also, I am a research scholar from LPU, Punjab. So we are also now using artificial neural network.
Yes.
So
Sir.
in that we not like previously we are using smart PLS or a MOS to make the structural equation modeling and all.
Yes,
but
sir.
now we are allowing the machine, especially the software, to finalize the model and to finalize what, how this model be constructed. So what are the mediating variables, moderating variables, what
Yes,
who is independent, dependent, everything is now done by the machine.
Right, sir.
All we just do is we give them the input, we give them the output, and rest everything done by the software.
Thank you.
So this
Thank you.
is how artificial neural network works.
Thank you, Professor Saini. अच्छा, इसमें क्या होगा? There is a small issue at my end. You know, मैंने निधि मैडम को पहले भी बोला था. In sessions में I feel like a radio jockey reading request on the chat. मिर्जापुर से इन्होंने इस गाने की फरमाइश की है जिसके ये गायक और ये गायिकाएं हैं. So मैं chats नहीं पढ़ पाऊंगा during the session, and it's become very difficult. So not that I don't like to play radio jockey, but not in this session. So what we'll do is आपको मुझे actually unmute करके बताना पड़ेगा, आपको बोलना पड़ेगा. So I capture few things. Somebody said, मैं यहाँ पे कुछ scribble करता हूँ. Innovation is when you do something new inside the classroom, and the new could be new method. So,
sir, can I add on something? I'm Nidhi from Faridabad, Manarachna. Like during pandemic, within 2 days, we switch on to online media. That's an innovation. Like online teaching, like we were very going for chalk and board or whiteboard and marker, the traditional mode of teaching. But due to pandemic, we innovated a lot of things online, like assignments, giving presentation, break rooms. So these are all the innovations we are having in education system right now. And in India, it came very early. Something, the positive we got from pandemic, that we as a teacher from traditional learner came to the online platforms.
okay.
So this is, according to me, the innovation.
Okay, when you change the medium of instruction is innovation. When you bring new methods inside classroom, new method मतलब आपके लिए नया, आपके बच्चों के लिए नया. It
The
could be it
break
has
room
been
is a new
cross-practiced.
method for, if we talk of
Hello?
online, break room
Hello?
concept is a
Can
new
I talk?
method.
Right.
Can I add one
Got
thing,
it.
sir?
Yes, please
Can
do.
I add?
Yes, yes.
Hello? So this is Bhanumati. Sir, can we we can go for augmented reality and virtual reality in classroom so that we can bring a 3D perspectives about a particular concept so that they can learn better. This is my opinion.
Okay, so when you bring virtual reality, augmented reality inside the classroom, that is innovation. Okay. Anything else is innovation? How would you define innovation?
Something different, something that could create interest among students.
Something that could create interest among students. Interest, ऐसे लिख देता हूं मैं. Something that could create interest. So, who made that point? May I know your name?
Dr. Bhanumati from Rama Institute of Management.
Okay, Dr. Bhanumati, an interesting point. So what Dr. Bhanumati is saying, and I'll extend this idea. ये इन्होंने नहीं बोला. She is not saying that. I'm just putting my words into her explanation. If you are narrating a story inside the classroom to convey a concept, और ये चाहे Zoom पे हो, चाहे brick and mortar की classroom में हो, ये innovation है. So for innovation, you need technology. ये तो absolute must नहीं है. So I could be, narrating story of two ladies. See, I'm a marketing prof, so please pardon me, मेरे examples वैसे आएंगे. Two ladies going out to buy breakfast cereals to a supermarket, and how Dr. Bhanumati chooses her breakfast cereal, and how Dr. Nidhi chooses her breakfast cereal. And I could be telling this concept through a story inside the classroom, so that there is some interest that I can generate. And if I generate this, it is an innovation for me. I think I can accept this. Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
No, so I'm not saying that this is the best answer. I'm saying all these four are best, equally good answers. That's all. मैं तो वो interest को समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा था, that what do you actually mean? Anything else, please? What is innovation?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, sir, it is creating value by
right,
finding a meaningful solution to a problem.
So innovation is anything that creates value, which troubleshoots a problem, gives a
Exactly.
solution, and it creates a value. Okay, got it. What else?
It could be usage of the current tool or pedagogy in a new way, and catering to the needs of your students. The students I have in my classroom are going to be entirely, absolutely different from another B school or whatever.
Yes.
And the same pedagogy or the same tool,
yes,
I can use it in a different way, tweak it in a different way, and use that. That is innovation, according to me.
So different ways of using a tool, is innovation. And this you do as per the need or fitment of your audience. Okay. So this is innovation. Perfect. Anything else you think? Ab kuch chat mein bhi hai, because not everybody. Yes, please.
Sir, anything which can give the solution of the past problems or make the previous process more smoothing.
Okay. So what he's saying is innovation is something that brings. मैं यहाँ पे efficiency का ये symbol use करता हूँ. That brings efficiency into my process from past. I am able to do it better. My learners are able to learn it better from how they would have done previously. So if it brings efficiency, it is innovation. Somebody in chat have put a thing, sir, how about flipped learning in teaching? So flipped learning or flipped classroom is a tool to bring innovation. And yes, but what I'm saying is that flipped learning apne aap mein successful hoga ki nahi would be decided by a lot of other things. But yes, flipped learning is a very common tool to innovate inside the classroom. Yes. But yeah, please.
So it's a generation of an idea and then translating that idea into an operational reality. That is innovation.
Okay. So it's an idea, and when you operationalize an idea, it becomes an innovation. That's what sir is saying. So only ideation will not help. you'll have to take ideation to next level where you are able to generalize it, execute it, and get desired result. So just by having it on my, let's say, program outline will not help. I must also know that if I have to do role play, what scripts I would need, what is that I would want my students to say, achieve, and end with. So and how will I execute it? So entire thing is this. There was a very interesting point by Dr. Rajashekhar, and he says innovation. वो आपने मुझे radio jockey बनाई दिया, but this is a good point he's saying. I mean, interesting point, not good per se, but interesting. He's saying if we are able to involve student, I think that is innovation. So whatever I do in my classroom, उन्होंने तो एक ही line लिखा है, but what I read from Dr. Rajashekhar, he says, if I can involve my students, वो everyone पे उन्होंने डाला, you can read, it is innovation. I think this is a very simply put but powerful idea. Whatever you do, when I take such sessions, जब भी Dr. Nidhi बुलाती हैं, I tell my audiences and my fellow colleagues like yourself that if you take 4 colored chalk inside your classroom, red, green, white, and let's say blue, and you teach a concept. We had a professor who had beautiful handwriting, और उनकी क्लास के बाद मन करता था, तब तो खैर there was no camera, mobile cameras, but the idea was हमारा मन ये करता था that every time, you know, we could capture that moment forever when he would finish his class with 4 colored chalks. Now, क्या वो 4 color chalks are important? I think as a tool they are important because they were able to successfully involve students. So सिर्फ 4 color chalk ले जाने से नहीं होगा. The point is, how do you execute those 4 color chalks? So those chalks were able to involve students because there was a vivid memory which would get imprint, and समझ में आता था that red में sir is talking about, let's say for example, sir is talking about first P of marketing, which is let's say product. Green mein he talks about price, and white mein he talks about place, because I'm marketing prof again, so I'm talking about all of this. So the 4 color chalks is equally a good innovation inside classroom, as much as flipped classroom, as much as 50 lakh ka Bloomberg subscription. But point is, what you do with Bloomberg subscription, what you do with 4 color chalks would make all the difference, as somebody was talking about right now. So involving student is innovation. Innovation of new ideas. All are entering discussion room at the same time. अच्छा ये भी लिखा है किसी ने. Social media in education. Again, social media, I would classify it as a tool. How and what you do with that social media makes all the difference. So let's say I'm teaching online digital marketing. And on digital marketing, मैं actually Facebook पे जाके, I create an online campaign. I generate masses. I'm able to sell them something, get subscriptions, and I teach my students how it is done. Yes, social media acts as a tool to innovate. AR, VR, implementing, teaching, yes. So guys, I think आप लोगों ने all in all, so there are some more ideas. I'll just check. Innovation is creation of something that improves learning.
Add something.
Please do.
Hello, am
Yes,
I audible?
Yes, madam.
I would like to say that emotional intelligence is one way in which we can implement innovation in a good manner or in a fruitful manner. Emotional intelligence is one of the part which is very important and critical part in which we can able to innovate something. Also we can come out with the new ideas, or we can come out with the new tools or techniques, and also in the implementation part emotional intelligence is also very important if it relates to human beings. Or
yes, absolutely, madam. And I totally agree with you. Why? Because ultimately it's about human interaction. And ultimately, the tools that you are going to supervise, apply these tools, chahe wo flip classroom ho, social media ho, cloud computing ho, whatever you are doing, all these tools you are going to apply on human beings. And if there is no connect between you, tool, and your learner, nothing is going to work out.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so one last question here. Why should we innovate? After we have understood innovation is virtual reality, new media, interesting, bringing efficiency, different tools, it should create value. Why should we innovate? Let's say inside management classrooms. Why is that required?
Good afternoon. We don't have a choice but to innovate because things are changing.
Okay. So there is
I
no
mean,
choice.
like
It is
what I
actually-
taught to the last batch, I can't do the same thing with this batch. The world is changing so fast.
There's no choice. The rate of change is faster
Rate of
than the
change.
change itself.
Yes.
Okay.
And if we want to take the class with us, we need to innovate. Involvement of students.
Okay. So there are a lot of points coming from you. So we need to innovate because we need to involve students. मैं
And
इसको
so
short
change
में
is the
लिखता हूँ.
only constant thing. We cannot
Okay.
deny that. So
Okay.
according to that, we need to keep on updating different method what we have been using for many decades.
But why update, madam? Why not go with the same tried, tested, successful methods?
Sir, because the technology itself keeps on changing, which require new skills, new different methods to improve the productivity of our students, I guess, and the outcome basically what we are giving it, the way we are giving it.
Okay, so skill requirements have changed, and hence we need. Yes, Milind sir, please go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Because if we do not innovate, we'll become irrelevant and will become obsolete like that. Because the whole world is innovating and bringing new creative technologies or making creative use of technologies, and that's how if we still adhere to the orthodox way of teaching, very soon will become obsolete.
So what sir is saying is, like somebody said, there's no choice. At personal level, at professional level, forget students. As a professor, if I don't innovate, I'll become obsolete, I'll be outdated, I'll not be able to survive. So it is in my benefit that for my survival instincts, I innovate. Yeah, so that's also a warning. He's also giving us a warning that you better innovate. And he's also advising us that innovation is required for individuals to grow at a personal level. Okay, interesting.
Another thing, I'm Dr. Shivani. I want to add another point actually. See, what is happening is the generational needs are very different. You know, the millennials, how they think, how you involve them. And if you have a mixed classroom, what is the composition of your classroom? What is the age group? What are the generations which are coming in? What are the methods you need to use? You need to innovate to make sure that there is inclusivity. And also, given the times we are in, you are no longer assured of a homogeneous classroom in terms of merit. You know, there is
Yes.
always a spectrum. You always have few students who are very bright. You have the average band, and you have students who are weak but who are still there in your class. And you need to take everyone together. Ideally, you would love to do that as a teacher. So you need to innovate. If you do not innovate, because also the thing is the age group is also there. Earlier, when I was doing my management, there were not many experienced people. You know, now a lot of people with work experience also come for management.
Okay.
Very young crowd is there, so generational needs are different.
Thank you.
You are required for that. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So very interesting point. Your class makeup is different and needs have changed. Yes. I think Professor Zubin says कि अगर innovate नहीं करोगे तो मजा नहीं आएगा. That's what he writes. Yeah. Very interesting. I'll read one input from Dr. Atul Kumar, and he says innovation increases your chance to react to changes and discover new opportunities. Yes, absolutely, Dr. Kumar. Because when you innovate, you try to look at things differently. You bring in different perspective. It helps your students also because they are getting some exposure inside classroom. So you possibly help help them in a better way. So I think I've got enough points, and we understand that innovation is something that we need to do. The tools are there, and technology may not be the only tool that is available. The point is how effectively we use these tools so that we can say our innovation inside the classroom is successful. Like somebody said, what I did with my previous batch, I cannot do with my coming batch, because two batches in itself, they could have altogether different makeup. Sorry. Like you can have a batch with
Manish sir.
Yes,
Manish
yes, sir.
sir. One question. Sir, can we use any digital platform where all the students can come together and they can innovate and teachers can monitor? Some tricks like that, some matlab, electronic mediums.
Yes, sir. So this is a question which is again based on tools, but let's address this. Sir, absolutely, this is possible. I'll suggest you one simple thing. There are a lot of digital forums where as a moderator, I can be assigned and people can come together on that forum. I may not do anything, I have to initiate. And then students develop that forum where I only act as moderator. I can use it for evaluation. I can use it for learning outcomes. I can, bring in certain milestones, and after every milestones, there can be evaluations done. So yes, such digital platforms can come, sir. Just हम class में करते हैं, you can do similarly here, like you do.
Anyone, can you name them which is free? We can join our student and call them.
Sir, मुझे आपको एक link भेजने दीजिए. I'll send you a link. एक नहीं, there are 7, 8, और ये सब मुझे US वाले ही पता है. I don't know of any Indian company, but I'll send you a link which will give you, there are like campus and अलग-अलग हैं. So I'll give you a US 7 ऐसे platforms हैं which are free.
Okay, sir.
Used by all of top universities in US. So हम भी use कर सकते हैं. So something like Canvas एक platform है sir. अगर आप मुझसे एकदम नाम पूछेंगे तो it's used by Harvard. तो उस Canvas and sign up दो मिला के वो लोग use करते हैं. So you can do that. I'll send you a link. What I'll do is through Dr. Nidhi, I'll send you a link and then you can check sir.
Okay sir. Thank you very much.
और आप Canvas तो Google कर ही सकते हैं. Harvard uses this extensively.
Okay sir. Okay sir.
And they call it learning community और उस पे वो develop करते हैं. चलिए. So thank you. Okay, and Dr. Parag Shukla has already put that. आप please उसमें से भी ले सकते हैं. Kahoot, I've used Kahoot, Dr. Shukla, and I find it very interesting. मुझे उसमें थोड़ा सा discussions में issue लगता है when I need to open discussions, but बहुत अच्छा platform है.
Right. Sir, in fact, even Mentimeter is for there. I mean, we use mind mapping techniques, and students can be enabled to, we can brainstorm ideas of students. That can be done.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Chaliye. So thank you. So this is very interesting. I come to know of a lot of things. So let us define innovation kiya, why innovate kiya. I go to the next part where I think, this is my favorite video. So I'm going to show you a small video here. Again, something like Amir Khan, but this is not from movie. This is a real classroom happening at MIT. And a very famous professor of MIT taking this class. आप लोगों ने देखा भी होगा. Let's watch this video and then we will share our notes.
Today we're going to talk about springs, about pendulums, and about simple harmonic oscillators, one of the key topics in 801. I will move this out of the way, because if that 15-kilogram object hits this, that is not funny. All right. 0. I have a mark here on the floor. This is about 5 degrees, and this is about 10 degrees. I will first do it from 5 degrees. I will let it swing one oscillation, and when it comes to a halt here, I will start the timer. That's for me the easiest. But I count on you where it comes to counting. You ready? You ready? You sure? I'm ready too. Okay. Now keep counting and don't confuse me again now. You're completely responsible for the counting. So all you have to tell me is when 8 or 9 is coming up. That's all I want to know. Don't even bother me with 3. Don't even bother me with 4. Just let me know when I have to get in position for the final kill. Notice there's almost no damping on this pendulum. The amplitude remains almost the same. Whereas with the air track, you could actually see that there was already some kind of friction. It was, where are we now? 9? 9, right? $45.70. 45.70. Where's my chalk? 45. 0.70. What was my prediction? Yeah, exactly. One of the most remarkable things I just mentioned to you is that the period of the oscillations is independent of the mass of the object. That would mean if I join the bob and I swing down with the bob, that you should get that same period. Or should you not? I'm asking you a question before we do this awful experiment. Would the period come out to be the same or not? Some of you think it's the same. Have you thought about it, that I'm a little bit taller than this object, and that therefore maybe effectively the length of the string has become a little less? If I sit up like this, and if the length of the string is a little less, the period would be a little shorter. Yeah? Be prepared for that. On the other hand, I'm also well, I'm not quite prepared for it. I will try to hold my body as horizontal as I possibly can in order to be at the same level as the bob. I will start when I come to a halt here. There we go. Now, you count. This hurts. Ah. I want to hear you loud. Oh. Ah, thank you. Oh. T with Walter Lewin. 45.6 plus or minus 0.1 seconds. Physics works, I'm telling you. I'll see you Monday. Have a good weekend.
Hi, sorry, मैं mute पे था. So this is one professor, physics class है, MIT में, he's teaching a concept on pendulum and oscillation and length of thread and weight of bob. I'm not telling you that, you know, we do this inside a management classroom. The idea is not that. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you look deep inside, you understand what has this professor done through his method. उन्होंने पहले, ये बहुत लंबा वीडियो है, so he did with banana also, he did with that bob also, and then he hanged himself in a way. And he was telling the students that अगर length of thread same रहेगा तो weight से फर्क नहीं पड़ता, oscillations same आएंगे. And this is the concept he was teaching. The point is, what this professor did is that he went quite deep into it, and he was able to achieve 2-3 things. उसमें से 1-2 चीजें मैं अभी बताता हूँ, which you already have shared as class. Number 1, somebody said interest. During discussion हमने पूछा था innovation क्या है? Somebody said interest. If you see that, whatever he was doing, अगर आप ये देखेंगे, आपको YouTube पे पूरा वीडियो मिलेगा ये. You will see that teaching a concept like this in a science class, he was trying to generate that interest. He could have told students कि ये physics का concept है, that length of thread अगर same है, तो weight of bob से फर्क नहीं पड़ता, at same degree oscillation same रहेंगे. Done, written, रट लो, exam में formula में ये use कर लेना. He did it. He chose to do it in a different way. So number 1, what you guys said was interest. He used various tools, mostly conventional, traditional tools, but he ensured unki classroom में ये tools हो where he wanted to teach this concept, and possibly he'll build. There was something more that he did inside his classroom. I want to understand that. आप कुछ identify कर पाए other than interest that he could do inside his classroom, that he was doing inside his classroom. Why will we call it innovation?
Hello.
Yes, madam.
Yes,
Madam
sir.
Rupali,
This
go
is
ahead.
Dr. Rupali here. I feel he was involving the students while doing the activity. So he was taking views of the students also so that they can get involved and the output could be the best.
Absolutely bingo. No doubt. No doubt. I'm talking to professors. So galat answers तो आ ही नहीं सकते हैं. So the point we are trying to make here is एक चीज है interest जगाना. But let us understand interest is temporary. Interest कैसे जग सकता है? After lunch का क्लास दे दिया मुझे डॉक्टर निधि ने. मैडम मैं आपको ताने नहीं मार रहा हूँ, ऐसे मजाक कर रहा हूँ. After lunch का क्लास दिया और मैं क्लास में आया and you know अच्छा lunch किया है हम सब ने. So I could use my voice modulation. I think Pooja madam said enthusiasm होना चाहिए पूरी energy के साथ. You know थोड़े से antiques. आमिर खान का video. I catch your attention and I try to generate your interest. That is one thing. The second thing is like you guys are talking about involvement, engagement, and remember this is the most difficult part. Interest I can do, catch your attention temporarily. But if I am not able to engage you, and remember engagement happens inside the classroom and outside the classroom. I can bet, and you will agree with me, when these kids move out of this class and when they are in their mess, dinner rooms, dinner halls, lunch halls, or when they are in their rooms, they'll be talking about this class today. They'll be talking about this for their life and they will always remember this. So agar aap kuch aisa karte hain in your innovation which generates interest, number one, and number two, engages. So engagement is something which I believe is equally important. Interest is 50%. I cannot put numbers, so let me not say it's 50%. I should say interest, generating interest is one part, and engaging students, engagement goes outside the classroom. So the flipped classroom ka concept hai, somebody was talking about flipped classroom. Zubin sir, just give me a second. So somebody was talking about flipped classroom. If you see, this is what flipped classroom does beautifully. It is pre-class, during class, and post-class. So the idea is to engage the student where students become or takes the ownership of that concept that they need to learn, collect information, come inside the classroom, discuss, collaborate, build knowledge, think outside the classroom. Yehi hota hai flipped classroom. So any innovation that we do, I think as this session today, we take two important inputs and both coming from you. I have not made any contribution. Number one is कोई भी innovation कीजिए teaching में, चाहे वो 4 color के chalks हो, चाहे Walton Lewis की class हो, या कोई flipped classroom use कर रहा है, make sure that there is enough, or it could be simple role play, you know, it could be simple balance sheet discussion. आप finance की class में हैं, you're talking about how dividends are done, how mergers, acquisitions happen, या आप Reliance की balance sheet लेके class में चले गए and you want to tell them that Reliance की ये वाली holding company देखो, which has all the brand ownership and it's making profit. So how do you predict trends? कुछ ऐसा. You know, my friend at IIM Raipur, he's a professor there. He used to tell me कि मैं Reliance की balance sheet लेके जाता हूँ. March 2020 को जब market crash हुआ था, हम वो balance sheet लेके बैठे थे और ये बता रहे थे कि Reliance को खरीदने का इससे अच्छा समय ही नहीं है, because Reliance holding अपने stake बढ़ा रहा था. I mean, look at this, connecting to real world, engaging students so that outside classroom also, you know, they're thinking about it. Ye finance major ke students. So you could bring any tool inside the classroom. It must do two things. It must generate interest and it must engage. Engage is beyond classroom. Zubin sir, all yours. Please पूछिए या बताइए.
Yeah, sir. I have only one observation regarding that video.
Okay.
अगर सर आप ये देखें जो फाइनल में उन्होंने किया कि physics actually works because what he taught, he proved that. So this I believe which is more catchy to students, that yes, what he is saying, it is not just theoretical. He actually proved this with his actions. So even in management we can do this, I feel so.
Okay, Zubin sir, absolutely important point. So let me put I'll add to what you're saying. When you say engagement doesn't mean that getting a yes from student. Engagement would come by two important things. Engagement दो important चीजों से आएगा. When a student can say, yes, I can do it, because they will always doubt themselves. Can I do this? can I, for example, in marketing, I also take rural marketing. So in rural marketing, when we say, कि भाई, to sell to rural people, you'll have to change your urban marketing mix. So to make them realize, if I can take them to rural markets, hearts, and tell them how choices and preferences are different. सिर्फ cheap बनाने से नहीं होगा. They are equal value seekers. So when you change that and you tell them, so engagement comes when you build a competence inside your students where they can say, because they'll doubt themselves, where they can say, yes, I can do it. Yes, it is workable. So Zubin sir, you are absolutely right. Engagement सिर्फ excitement create करने से नहीं होगा. When your students can say, yes, this works, I can do it, it is within reach. If they feel this cannot be done, ये जो सर ने पढ़ाया ये मुझसे नहीं होगा, ये statistical tool मैं नहीं लगा पाऊंगा, it will not give result that I want. Let me tell you, engagement is not happening. आपने interest तो generate कर लिया, but उसका competence develop नहीं हुआ. अगर competence develop नहीं हुआ, and your students are not able to answer this question, can I do it in a positive way? Engagement is not happening because they are going to give up. They have a lot of pressures. They'll give up. So you're right, Zubin sir, when you say that professor said physics work, देखो मैंने prove किया. So possibly कुछ ऐसे competence building methods हमको use करने पड़े. Okay, so I think I have 15 more minutes left, and in these last 15 minutes, what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to do a small exercise. Like I said, I have no set agenda. ये तो 500 स्लाइड का पीपीटी है, हम जितना भी कर लेंगे is our game. So on your chat boxes, all those people जो अभी मेरे साथ connected हैं, जो engaged हैं, जो interested हैं, because there are 115 people, जो भी हैं, आपके chat box में I'm putting up a link. मैं आपको एक छोटा सा link आपके chat box में भेज रहा हूँ. This is a Google form. You just have to mention your name and your area, operations, marketing, human resource, IT. Do that, and then there are 2 questions, very simple rating के questions हैं. Please rate them. मैं आपके responses, I'll be able to see your responses real time. So I'm putting up a Google form link. You click on that link, आपका Google account से it should open. Try and fill that form. Just give me a second. I've copied it. Zoom कहाँ गया? Yes, here I am, and I am on my chat box. This is to everyone in the meeting. And I've pasted. अच्छा मैडम आपने अच्छा
Both links have come simultaneously. I'm really very sorry.
तो अगर आप फीडबैक लिंक नहीं भरेंगे तो निधि मैडम का नुकसान होगा, मेरा नहीं होगा.
नहीं सर,
तो मेरा फीडबैक है, मेरा फीडबैक है.
I opened the chat box ना, it just popped up over there. मैंने बहुत मतलब 3-4 मिनट पहले ही भेज दी थी फीडबैक लिंक.
नहीं कोई बात नहीं, तो मैं वापस भेज रहा हूँ. I want you to fill this Google form.
It's visible, sir. Your form is visible.
Yes.
We are doing it, sir. We are doing it.
I can see that online. Let me see. आप लोग भरिए. It's asking 2 important questions around Walton Lewis class. जहाँ पे Walton Lewis को हमने आपसे replace कर दिया. You are replaced by that teacher. So as much frank as you can be, it would help. Okay, I've got first response from Madam Kritika. Okay. Okay. So because we are fighting against time, I'll have only 30 seconds more. 4 simple questions: name, your department, and 2 questions where you're doing self-rating. And this self-rating is only visible to me, and it doesn't go anywhere outside this. That's a promise. Yes, I can, ma'am. I can. Twenty seconds more. Okay, I think I have enough responses. Just give me a second and I'll share some of those responses with you. Okay, so there are some 35 responses that I've got, which is more than sufficient right now. I'll open it in a spreadsheet. Okay. Very nice. Okay, so I'm sharing those responses with you. Jitne bhi responses aaye hain. So we'll take few of those responses and then we will conclude because hardly 10-12 minutes are left for me. Okay, ji, chaliye. So ye main share nahi kar paya na. Just a second. So this is my Excel sheet where you have given responses and more than those points, because those are self-evaluatory points. So I see that people are doing role plays, weekly test, practical and skill sessions. Okay, interesting. Role play, PPT, ADV shown in class. Okay, and then connect with subject. Many innovation in teaching pedagogy, flipped classroom. Okay, quiz and blogs. Okay, so there's a professor who's saying no. I don't know. So when you say no innovation done in last 6 months, and you're giving yourself a score of 10. Dekhna padega. Mentimeter used in class. Learn by fun with live experience in rural areas. Very interesting. और ये मेरी colleague हैं, Dr. Simant. So very nice. Using Wacom to teach online. Okay, MS Whiteboard. Methods, tool assessments, hands-on practice. लिखना चाह रहे थे शायद. Using movie clips, PowerPoints, video lecture. Use Nearpod and quizzes. Case study, AI in HR examples, included videos, case studies. Reading corporate governance, okay. Taking online classes. I have been using methods like small projects, okay. Using videos, not done any innovation. So that's being very frank about it, Dr. T. Malti. Involvement of students, real cases, and a lot of Google Classrooms. I daily ask what they want to learn today. Okay, okay, very nice. Moodle use किया है, Microsoft Form, Kahoot use किया है, engage किया है student को. तो मैं यही जानना चाह रहा था, Dr. Sachin की engage में क्या किया है, कैसे engage किया है. Quiz. I have not done any innovation in last 6 months, but yes, I was able to keep them engaged and make them present in my class. Yes, in Google Class by telling, and there are so many different answers and good response. बहुत सारे response आ जाएंगे. Google Classroom, role play, case studies, ये. And then you have also rated them. I want to talk to one person because I don't have that much time. तो मैं किसी एक को invite करूँगा from all these responses. I think I would want to I would want to invite Dr. Simant Deshpande. Sir, I hope I'm getting you right. Can you please unmute yourself? And I want to know more about this thing, sir. Learn by fun with live experience.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Sir, good afternoon.
Namaskar, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
सर एक्चुअली मैं अभी पीएचडी परसुइंग हूँ, ओरिएंटल यूनिवर्सिटी से कर रहा हूँ, कैंपेन प्लानिंग में रूरल एरियाज में. और अभी एनजीओ एजुकेट गर्ल्स जो एनजीओ है, मैं उसमें अभी वर्क कर रहा हूँ एज अ मार्केटिंग एंड कैंपर प्लानिंग.
ओके.
तो सर जो मेरे जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स रहते हैं, तो हम वहाँ पर जाकर लाइव प्रैक्टिकल करते हैं.
सर मुझे बस एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल दे दीजिए अगर आप 30 सेकंड्स में बता सकें.
जी सर, एक्चुअली हमारा जो मेन टास्क रहता है वो गर्ल्स एजुकेशन पर रहता है कि जो गर्ल्स को अवेयर करना, उनको अवेयर करना एजुकेशन के लिए, उनके पेरेंट्स को अवेयर करना. तो इसके लिए हम मोहल्ला मीटिंग्स, मतलब जो मोहल्ला मीटिंग्स हो गई, क्लस्टर प्लानिंग हो गई या विलेज हो गया, हम वहाँ पर जाते हैं. भले अगर वो रूरल एरियाज का हम पहले सर्वे करते हैं कि कब मिलेंगे सारे जो और ऑडियंस रहते, टारगेट ऑडियंस, वो हमें कब अवेलेबल हो पाएगी. तो वहां पर जाके लिटरली नाइट में जाके हम वहां पर उनका शेयर करते हैं, एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करते हैं, जिन्होंने एडमिशन कराया है तो उनके साथ क्या एक्सपीरियंस रहा,
ओके ओके
शेयरिंग होती है।
ओके, ठीक है सर, थैंक यू सो
Thank you,
मच.
sir.
So I have one advice for all of all the professors who are present here. एक छोटी सी advice है, whatever activity you do, don't give it a general name. Please don't give it a general name. If it is your indigenously designed activity, अगर आपने खुद ने वो activity बनाई है, please give it some name. And it could be, you know, Sarita Madam's, वो मैं सरिता मैडम का नाम इसलिए ले रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरे स्क्रीन पे जो कुछ लोगों का वीडियो ऑन है वो मुझे दिख रही हैं. तो you know, she comes from HR and marketing. So let's say she does some marketing in some activity in marketing. अब मैं marketing का prof हूँ इसलिए आपको बोल रहा हूँ branding करो. So let's say you're doing role play, but don't call it role play. Call that activity something for that particular class. कुछ भी, and it could be, you know, for example, when I do this, we did this something for Indigo versus Make My Trip, और उसमें हम role play कर रहे थे, which was negotiation role play, vendor, distributor. So there should, I'm not divulging the name, but please name your activity and tell students you are doing this activity. Even if you are doing, I see a finance professor saying, we analyzed a financial statement. I will request that finance professor take help of your colleagues. Call that activity something, brand it, product it, and tell your students we are doing this. Rather than saying, you know, इसीलिए मैंने वहाँ पे लिखा था name any one innovation and you have to use one word. So my one advice is whatever innovation you are doing, and if it is your indigenous innovation, routine होगा वो. But can you, first thing is, can you name it as your own? You're doing something unique in that. You could be doing share swap ratios. You could be doing, you know, a simple debt to service coverage ratio. जो finance में, please pardon my knowledge for that, but please call it something. उसको कुछ एक नाम दीजिए, so it helps. Okay, so in my last 5 to 6 minutes that I have, I want to share my final nuggets with you. So whatever you guys are doing, आप जो कर रहे हैं, I am not saying कि ये सही है या गलत है, because like I said, these are all tools. This is what I want you to do. Whatever you're doing role play, you're doing something on Moodle, you're using MS Whiteboard, you're using Wacom, you're using Mentimeter, please ensure that first thing that tool must do is it must catch attention. The second thing that tool must do is it must engage. क्या बड़ा difference है? Attention is temporary. It is most important because if you are not able to catch attention of your learner, your innovation is not going to work. But attention is not sustainable unless and until it is backed by engagement. Where a student is forced to think outside the class about what you taught through that tool, This in sum total is what I think is called as innovation. When you catch attention and when you engage. अब ये कैसे करेंगे? When I say you have to catch attention, basically, Pooja madam se borrow kiya मैंने concept. Number one, to catch attention is you'll have to take care of the feeling. Student ki feeling, aapki feeling. It is important that feeling is positive by having high energy level, by being enthusiastic, by having good relationship with the student, by knowing something about that student. If it's not possible, 60 students ki batch hoti hai. But if you know that, let's say Shravani in my class wants to get into insurance sector and she wants to work with an insurance company. This, you know, can be used as an information inside the classroom where you could say, Shravani, I think jab aap insurance mein hoge, one of the important thing is selling. And in selling, so you know, you get the right feel, you catch the attention. Har ek ke saath ye possible nahi hai bhai. Feeling. The second is generating the interest. How do you generate interest? Stories. सबसे simple तरीका है interest generate करने का in your class is narrating stories around that concept. Second, role play, debates, open houses. Healthy controversies is a very interesting way of generating interest. Healthy controversies, giving a counter thought to students and then let students debate. तो healthy controversies generate करना भी एक बहुत अच्छा तरीका है to generate interest. Games, quizzes, very interesting methods. अब ये किसी भी tool पे हो सकते हैं. It could be on Moodle, quizzes could be on Moodle, quizzes could be on Google Forms, quizzes could be on some hard copy, paper, pen, whatever you like. So get the right feel in the class by having right energy, right use of language, positive body language, enthusiasm, important है. उनको लगना चाहिए that they want to be in Dr. Pranjal's class. They are looking forward for Dr. I'm sure students do that, but feel and interest together generates attention. The second thing is engagement. जो Dr. Zubin बोल रहे थे, engagement comes from making sure that whatever you are teaching, I think एकदम पहला point आया था purpose. Student must feel that this is important to learn. अब वो student कब feel करेगा important to learn? कुछ fear psychosis हो सकता है, grades, but ये sustainable नहीं है. But if that Shravani knows कि insurance में मुझे ये वाली skill काम आएगी और उसको उसका importance उसके life goal के साथ align कर सकते हैं, I'm sure it is challenging task. Not every lesson, every class can be mapped to importance with respect to students' life goal. But if there is an importance to students' life goal that can be attached to some immediate goal, to something long-term goal, I can tell you, you'll have engagement. Number one is importance, generating importance of the topic being taught, of the concept being taught. And how do you do that is innovation. Building competence, it should be within the reach of students. Students should say that they can excel, they can do it, they can try for it. But if they give up, engagement will not happen. They will not think about your subject outside the classroom. So like there was a professor talking about rural immersion, कि हम rural area में गए, हमने मोहल्ला committee बनाई. If students think that they are going to work with आगे जाके Coca-Cola or let's say Colgate Palmolive और उनके इंटरव्यू में बहुत काम आने वाला है जो ये बताया जा रहा है, जो कि फाइनेंस में, ऑपरेशंस में, आईटी में, एचआर में, it will help me in my interview, it will help me in my job, it will help me in my life. These could be some methods by which you can generate importance. Competence, assessment से आ सकता है. I don't know how many of your colleges allow this, but some of the institutes that I know, I have been with one such institute. They told me that you decide your assessment. And you know what I did? I went into the class first day and I said, you decide your assessment. मैंने मेरे बच्चों को बोला कि जो final project है, which is 40% evaluation weightage, you tell me as group, how do you want me to evaluate? You want me to evaluate on hard copy? Let me finish, couple of minutes. You want me to evaluate on hard copy presentation? You want to make a video presentation? You would do a Nukkad Natak on this, and it was a marketing area. So there were 8 groups, and 8 groups had 5 different methods. Sub opted for कि हम हमारा final presentation Nukkad Natak में देंगे. किसी ने कहा सर हम video presentation देंगे. We'll make a video, we'll do research, make a video, present a video. Somebody said we will present it using a PPT. So I gave them total freedom on deciding how they would want to be evaluated and what method would they use for final submission. इससे क्या हुआ? इससे I got a buy-in. I don't know how much is this permissible in your institutes, but I got a buy-in and उनका competence. I gave them confidence that you do as per your competence. I got very good engagement, I would say. I'll not say 100%, but I got good engagement from my students because they were deciding how they would be evaluated and in what form. So all in all, attention and engagement should be brought by innovation you do. It could be Moodle, it could be Mentimeter, it could be Kahoot, बहुत अच्छे platforms हैं. It could be 4 colored chalks. That's as simple as it can get. It could be simple flip charts, you know, that you can take and you could paste it around the classroom. Students could be pasting. You can do a lot of such activities. With this, I come down to end of my session right now. I've consumed 1 minute more, but I'm happy if I'll be happy if you want to discuss something, ask something. I may not have answer, but ask something, share something. We can do that. Otherwise, I'm done. Thank you for this opportunity, Nidhi Madam, and IPS team, Dr. Mittal.
Thank you so much, sir. It was wonderful listening, a wonderful delivery, sir. And sir, few participants are asking for your mail address in the chat box.
So do I have a permission, ma'am?
So, yes, of course, sir.
Okay.
But it's like I would have returned, but I wanted to have your permission.
No, that's absolutely right, madam. So आपको थोड़ा समय लगता मेरा email ID डालने में. My muscle memory मैंने फटाफट type कर दिया. Here is my mail ID. saraf.manish@hotmail.com.
हाँ जी sir.
Right, ma'am. Thank you so much. So do I have your permission? My best wishes to everybody there.
Sir, we have Sarita ma'am to extend vote of thanks to you, sir.
Okay, right,
Can I,
sure.
sir?
So,
Thank you so
ma'am,
much.
before you give vote of thanks, my heartiest congratulations and best wishes for your professional careers. And these are very tough time. मैं फिर भी बोल रहा हूँ. I'm not living on a negative note, but what I'm trying to tell you, everybody, is that please take a very good care of yourself and your family. And let me tell you, through these crises, आपको शायद पता होगा, but through this crisis, I have realized there's nothing as important as family. तो उनका बहुत ध्यान रखिए, खुद का बहुत ध्यान रखिए. I believe in God, so my heartfelt prayers, ये pandemic जल्दी से खत्म हो, बहुत हो गया है. चलिए, Sarita madam, to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. And thank you, ma'am. It's an immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks for this session. Though this session was a post-lunch session, but you make sure that everyone, was involved, and you made it really very interactive with the video, and which was one of my favorite movie. So as you rightly mentioned that knowledge is not king anymore, because now it is easily available and it's like a big ocean. And what it is important is that learning needs have to be changed, like about innovation, and the list can go on and on. So what all you have, give us in such a short span of time. So thank you so much for your valuable insight, and which really helps to enhance our knowledge, and which we can surely use to polish our skill, no doubt about it. And we will also try to use different innovative methods. Most important thing, the takeaway from this session is basically to attention to generate interest. For example, you have given said just by giving some different name to the topic or the any activity which we are going to take. So interest plus engagement is equal to innovation. That is a beautiful takeaway from this session, sir. So thank you so much, Manish, sir, for your valuable insight. From all from all behalf of my colleagues, I just want to give you a vote of thanks from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye, Nidhi madam.
Thank you so much on behalf of all the participants and
My
on
pleasure.
behalf of IBMR IPS Academy.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Participants, you please stay in the session. I just have to give some information about tomorrow's session.